All right, commandment number 5 of internet advertising. Thou shalt not neglect to get Google reviews. Okay, this applies for almost all businesses. Any type of local business, local service, especially critical. It can affect how well you show up on the 3-pack maps. So in other words, when those businesses show up on, if somebody's looking for a local business and you show up on that maps view, and then the reviews seem to influence how high you can show up there. There's other factors too. That seems to be one of them. What your reviews are like may also, I don't know for sure how directly it's correlated, but it may tie into how efficient your Google ad spend is as well. And of course, just for anytime someone's researching you, they're going to trust what your reviews say more than they trust what you say on your website. As a rule, they don't believe they can trust what you say necessarily, because you're going to give the shiniest version of your business to them, the shiniest version of the truth, whereas other customers, they trust a lot more to give their experiences. So if you either don't have many reviews, or if you mostly have bad reviews, and then people who are researching your business are probably not going to be very comfortable in purchasing from you. Let's say you build backyard storage sheds, and so someone types in storage shed near me, and you and 6 other businesses pop up or whatever. And so one quick way for them to filter through these businesses and figure out which ones to research further are the ones that have good Google reviews. So if most storage shed companies have a Google review of, let's say, 4.3, and I don't know what that number is, but let's say it's 4.3, and if yours is 4.5 or better, and then you have a much better chance that they'll research your company and decide, and shop your products and see if they like a model that you have, and maybe they'll want to explore it further and call one of your salespeople. Whereas if you have a review of like 4.1 or 4.0 or 3.9, they may look at it and be like, I'm not even going to call them. I'm not even going to look at their website. I want good customer satisfaction because I'm looking at spending, $10,000 to $20,000 on a new shed. I definitely don't want to be stuck in a situation where I'm working with a shed builder that I can't trust. So trust is a huge factor, especially in larger purchases for people. Now, if someone's just buying a cheap little widget of some kind, like a lot of us will buy some cheap little thing at Walmart and not really care, right? It's like if it doesn't end up working, it's not a big deal. It's $15, right? But when it's 15 grand, people want to know that you're a good person to work with, especially contractors. I mean, there's so many horror stories of contractors, and it's the person's own home, and if you mess that home up for them, that could cost them a lot of headaches and a lot of money. And they want to know that they can trust you. And while reviews aren't, an absolute sure thing for them, it's pretty much, aside from a personal recommendation, it's the next best thing that customer has to feel confident that money spent with you is going to be money well spent. So if you've got a good number of high quality, a good number of 5-star reviews, on your, if your average rating is high and you have got quite a few ratings, a lot of good reviews, that's going to just be like a tailwind on your marketing. It's just going to help you get leads, more leads and cheaper leads. And if you do not, either you don't have very many reviews or a lot of reviews or not good reviews, if your average rating is just low, it's under, especially anything under, I would say anything under 4.5 probably, you need to look at improving something. Either in the way you collect reviews or in the service, mostly in the service that you offer your customers. Why are you not ranking? Why are you not getting a better overall review than that? Because it is, in this day and age, I would say your Google reviews are the single most important factor for someone researching you in terms of whether they feel they can trust you. Is probably the number one thing. Outside of a personal referral of like their friend said, hey, yeah, use this guy. Other than that, probably your Google reviews are the number one place people are going to check. Now, there may also be some other review sites that they check out, maybe your Facebook reviews and stuff like that. But I think most of those are pretty secondary. Your Google reviews are just really important. You can help. There's some things you can do to kind of help automate that process of getting reviews. Using emails to request reviews or text messages. If you're in a business where you service a lot, like a high volume of customers, like you're a window washer or a piano tuning company or something like that, where you're working with a lot of clients every week, every month, you definitely want something automated to try to get those reviews in. And I will say you don't have to have an enormous number of reviews. I'd say a lot of companies, if you have 20 plus reviews and you've got a really high star rating, then that's really, you're probably that's a great start. That's fine. It's probably going to work pretty good for you actually at that point. It is nice though if there's always reviews that are fairly recent, so you kind of keep that steady trickle coming in. So somebody goes and looks at your reviews, there's a recent one that says, hey, these guys are awesome, so that the customer, when they're looking, they're like, it's one thing if companies change, like there's different management and things come and go, and people come and go. So it's nice for the customer to be able to see recently that your company is still offering great service. So it is good to have recency. So yeah, and if you don't have a high volume of customers, you may want to just set up something in your regular routine of like, when you're closing out a job, that, or after you've sold them the item, whatever your product or service is, but toward the end of the sale, try to find that time when they're most excited about your service and when they're most likely to give you a review. If you're a type of business where you're at the customer's home or the customer's at your place of business when they're purchasing, getting them to leave you a review right then and there can be great. But if you don't have a high volume of customers, if you have more of you're a home builder, you don't do that many homes per year or whatever it is, I would encourage you to send them a personal text, give them a call, try to get a verbal commitment from that customer that yes, they will leave you a review, and then follow up as needed, until you get that review. Now, if they say they'll give you a review, but then they keep putting it off, it is possible that maybe something about your service wasn't as good as they hoped, and they're just not leaving you a review because they don't want to leave you a negative review. If that's the case, that you got to handle that a little differently, right? But if it's just that they just kind of forgot, and then it's good to be a little persistent, and because those reviews can really, in a major way, help to fuel the successful growth of your company.